Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Modern Mom. My name is Remy Kay. I'm a comedian and a certified life coach. I have with us today Aurutor Raygoza Jr.
You nailed it.
Thank you. Thank you. I had to practice a little bit before we recorded.
You nailed it. Yeah.
But and the reason why I asked him to be on the show is because I know the show's called Modern Mom, but I did say in the beginning in my intro that I would have fathers as well. Aurutor here is really a very talented comedian, fellow comedian, producer, director. He's actually taken some trips to Hollywood recently, which I'd love to hear about.
Of course. Yeah.
And the biggest thing, and I think it's funny, we're recording this actually the day before Father's Day.
It's fitting.
It's fitting. How do you do it? Like, how do you balance it all?
It's not always the most, perfectly set up thing. I think I'm in a better flow of doing it now, where in the beginning when they're babies and like you're just following them around, cleaning up all the little tornadoes that they make and all the different things.
I still have tornadoes.
Oh yeah, the selective tornadoes. They kind of help with them now, so it kind of helps. Yeah.
Oh, you must be really good at your job then. You obviously know how to teach them well.
For the first time, we washed the car together and had them really do a little bit of everything with me.
Actually, you know what? My kids have done that. Now that I think of it,
that's good.
But that's because my dad was involved with it. Even my kid's father has a really good way of getting them to listen.
Okay.
And like getting them to eat their vegetables. Like, in his car they're eating like seaweed and apples, and in my car they're eating like candy.
I feel like they know you have a different love for them, and kids know how to like position themselves.
I was like, I'm gonna be the fun aunt. I think my kid was singing lyrics of Barbie Girl. That bothered me, and that's when the mom gene kicked in.
That was your moment?
That was my moment.
Yeah, so two boys. I have a 7 and a 9-year-old. Kylan and Logan, those are my little guys. You've met them. And yeah, they're
sweet.
They're great. I'm lucky. Whatever the universe power is, they show me. I'm like, oh, I got good kids.
So how long have you been doing comedy for?
I've been doing comedy since 2009. It's been a while. Yeah. I didn't have kids the whole time. And then I had to be a comedy father is a whole different thing because our schedules with that is always, different. I didn't know if I would continue to be able to do comedy when I was having kids.
Tell me about that.
Because I love my kids.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh God, if people knew how ready I am to let my dreams go for my kids, they would be like, oh man, you're doing pretty good at comedy still. Like, I enjoy time with them. And one of the reasons I hope I make it as a comic is to have so much daytime to spend with them. It's I've been doing nothing but comedy for the past 3 years, and that was unintentional because due to the layoffs and COVID and all that stuff, I didn't have a job, and then I've been forced to kind of figure out how to set up private gigs and do a whole lot of other stuff to try to funnel the stuff. And I'm pretty good with my money, where I don't spend a lot of it. I call it a Costco sample of how I like my life to go. If it was just me, that feeling, you're like, it was just me, I'd be great.
Do whatever I want. I moved to Switzerland.
Dude, I'd be the president.
I don't know about that. I think my ambitions would go down, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'd probably just live on an island or something.
Oh God. You know what? It's weird. I think your brain, when you go through parenthood, and if you went back, you would be different than you would if you just went straight through with no kids.
Yeah.
Because you really appreciate the little moments.
That's true. I remember when my oldest was under 30 days. I was like, am I ever going to live again? Am I ever going to sleep again?
You literally don't have any of the normal things that you need as a human being to survive.
Yeah.
You can't eat the right way. You can't sleep the right way. You're almost like a zombie. It's like a whole different thing. Then when I was very hands-on with my kids when they were in the very beginning, I would take over half of the feedings. I'd be up for all of them. So literally every single one I was up for, but some of them I fully take over. So we had the bag filled with milk or the formula, depending on what stage we were at.
Properly. It's all about keeping this little creature alive, and I totally get that.
Yeah.
But the good news is now they're a little older, so my kids are similar, 6 and 8.
Yeah.
And so there is
similar.
a little bit of flexibility. I used to do a couple of mics. I used to produce a show and a mic. And I had to give them up pretty quickly because I realized, okay, well, this isn't working with the school schedule, and I feel like I'm not balancing it well enough. But I do kind of, adjust my comedy schedule according to
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Even, there's a big thing with comedy where people mistake what actually progress is. People tell you need to be out there miking
I've
so
heard it.
often, and if you're
360
not a
mics,
comic, and it's
a year.
that's not appropriate. So I can look at you and be like, I don't know how you pull it off. because I understand.
That's how I see you.
Yeah,
totally,
right. So you look at each other like, how do you do it?
Yeah.
Right, and that's the truth, because you know how much you go through to do it. So it's hard, but you gotta be proud of yourself, because no one else is. Like, the kids will, when they're older, they're gonna notice, but right now they're little and they're learning.
I still
and you don't
get you're
want
the best
them.
mom ever. I still get that.
It's so, dude, my little one's not little,
Yeah,
and dude, sometimes he wants me to carry him, and like, he's so cute. I'll be on a little while, Papa. We're doing an interview. Papa, I love you. He's so cute. And right when I say little one, he summons like.
He heard. His ears were ringing. He knew.
What's up, baby?
Do you want to come see what we're doing for a minute so you can feel better about it?
Yeah, come on. That's such an appropriate
You
thing.
can come too. You can come for a minute and see what we're doing.
We're doing a
podcast. Have you seen a podcast before?
No.
So a
This is
podcast
so
is kind of
cute.
like a show. It's kind of like a show. Your dad and I are like on a talk show.
Uh-huh.
And like basically, I'm recording it so that I can talk about how he does comedy while having you guys.
Yeah.
Are you guys getting tired? Should we wrap up really soon?
No, they just love to have me close to them. That's really what
Yeah,
it is.
I
It's
hear
okay.
that. I hear
Okay.
that.
Well, listen. We do have to talk about subjects about being a parent and making things work, and
And it's boring.
and it's gonna be boring. Now, go outside, play games. We're gonna be done when we're
Look,
done.
my Nintendo is almost dead.
Uh-oh.
Come on, Grandma.
Okay, the faster we can finish up, the faster you guys can go home, okay?
No, they're fine. They just want to be next to me. That's all.
Oh, I get it.
Oh,
That's
but
the same
literally, but yeah, like as I was saying, like my little one, he's not little at all.
Yeah.
He's a big guy. Dude, sometimes he still wants me to pick him up and hold him, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I'll hold you for like a block.
Yeah.
Like, I can't hold you.
I know,
could,
my
but
daughter's the same way, the youngest.
It's
It's like,
so
pick me up. And I'm like, honey, those days are coming to an end, and
you
she's
feel it
totally
in
the
your back,
baby.
and
Yeah.
you're like, oh no.
I start to get sore. Like, I start to get achy and sore.
Yeah.
And it's like, I like to work out also, so I'm always sore from that anyway.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yeah, you're very heavy now. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so they
Not
just,
strong.
that's how they are. They want it. They want the love, and
Yeah.
I'm happy they do.
And that's really a good
Yeah.
sign, because that shows that they feel obviously very safe with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
And you're, obviously a very present parent. That's
Yes.
very clear. That's also one of the reasons why I asked you, because I see that, you're a very involved father. That's actually
Oh,
like
thank
one
you.
of your first sets that I heard about you was like your heavy involvement as a father, as a parent,
Yeah.
and the things you've had to do and sacrifice
Yeah.
in order
Oh,
to be
that's
that
wild.
involved with them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I feel like if you're doing your dream to some capacity, you're living it. You're making it work with what you can, and
Yeah.
then you're supporting it however you can.
Do you feel like you're getting that kind of the satisfaction of the passion project side of comedy? Tell me about
Yeah,
that.
I definitely am.
Mhm.
I love what I get to do. I love that we get to. I know, like we did a show earlier.
They see comedy,
Yeah.
and which is funny because Arturo is not these.
I am not.
I am, but he's not. How we started like actually working together is
Yeah.
because you did the show, and I've been on it a couple times now. 2 women came up to me just after the show,
Oh.
and they were like, I want to get into comedy. Like, how do I do
really?
this? Yes. She was like, how do I do this?
That's amazing.
And
yeah.
when I got into comedy, I wish someone had said these things to me. So I was like kind of ready for her. I'm like, okay, this is what I would start off with. I was like, take my phone number down, right?
Yeah.
And so the show was well received.
Oh, I'm happy.
Yeah.
That's you being a mom and a caring person, because it's like that's another thing. I mean, when you're a parent and you're a comedian, you have a different approach to the way you see. There's so much drama in comedy, as you know.
Yeah.
And we all have our own, like we all.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's being a parent. We already know our own drama that we deal with.
Right.
That we're like, I don't want to deal with it here.
Well, I think
Like,
for me, at least as a parent, I kind of gotten to this point where it's like I have to really look at the objective of every single thing I'm doing. I have to prune so much information. I don't have the brain capacity to hold on to every single little detail. And let me tell you,
Yeah.
anyone who's thinking ill will about me is the first thing to go. Like, I just
yeah.
don't have any space for that.
you have to let it go
Yeah.
because you don't have time.
Mhm.
And it's weird. It helps in a way.
Yeah.
Where like I'm very particular about, like, same thing.
Mhm.
I'm particular about who I spend time with, or
Yeah.
who I give my time to, or what I do, because I don't have a lot of it.
Mhm.
And I want to make sure that I'm spending it appropriately.
Yeah.
I don't know if you feel that.
No,
but-
I definitely feel that. If someone
Yeah.
is taking energy out and it's draining me at
Yes.
all, that really does have to
And
go.
sometimes you already have to understand that you're already a caring enough person, and you try enough for other people
Yeah.
that you got to be okay with that. And this is, I mean, I always wanted to do it, but I had other things I was trying to do,
Yeah.
like sports and stuff. Then you realize all these other things.
What
and
kind of
you start,
sports did you play?
Football, basketball, things like that. And I enjoyed them a lot, but there's a certain point where you start going to college, and then you start going, oh, if I'm going to make it, you got to be you got to have a different frame. I was like,
Yeah.
so you have to understand that, oh, okay. And then I was like, well, I like comedy, I'll try that. And then I was like, oh, I really like it. And then it became a thing.
But you have a day job as well, you said.
Yeah, so I had a day job. I used to work in sales a lot, and then I worked at Facebook for a little
I
while.
could see sales for you.
But in comedy, there's a lot of toxic people in sales.
Yeah.
Like mental things you got to go through, and for comedy especially, it's just people who are, they're your friends until you start doing well, or like there's all these things that everyone feels these different pains. And we all feel the similar ones just from different people. But there's people when you're learning, you're not that great, they love you, and then you get better, and they get weird, and then you're just trying to get better. And I'm just trying to get better for my kids. I have an opportunity to change my kids' lives and the people who work with me. I take that serious.
Yeah.
Like, I know that it's a slim chance, but while I'm doing it, I really want to try to do the best I can because there's an opportunity that my life could be completely different.
And you are really good at it.
Oh, it means a lot.
Would you
Thank
be willing to talk about some of the things that you're doing?
Oh, yeah.
What did you do recently when you went to Hollywood?
So I'm lucky enough to be able to audition for things for like ABC, for like Netflix, and or sometimes you don't know exactly what it's for because it's kind of they give you a script and you go through
or something.
Yeah, but I'm just basically, when it comes to that, I'm auditioning for shows, trying to get on stuff. And I've gotten to do sets on shows like with Anthony Jeselnik, like Bill Burr. Bill Burr's the only one I publicly talked about because when I publicly told people that I just did a guest set on a show with him, some people were like, it was weird. It got weird. Some people were saying people like I opened for him, and like I'm like, it's not the same. And it became I had to put out fires that wasn't intended. I was just excited.
No.
But like I get to do shows with like people like that, and I'm just quiet, and I'm barely getting it. I get a 5-7 minute set here and there.
I mean,
but it's
still a big
exciting.
deal.
Yes, it's like a big deal to me, and I enjoy it because I know, especially being a parent, how like this dream of comedy is already slim. When you're a parent, it's even slimmer.
Yeah, it's true.
And we have to be okay with that. But I've already accepted there's a chance that I may not make it for what make it is.
I mean, you're also producing multiple shows, so tell me about that a little bit.
Oh yeah, that's I'm getting better at that scheduling wise. Like you see, I have Rhoda helping me now, and I have Ed Rubin helps me, and I have I'm starting to build showrunners because all the things that I already was doing on my own, I'm like, oh, I could kind of show people how to do that, and then we can build more stuff and have more shows. But yeah, we have so we're gonna have at least 8 shows a month just here, and then I have a San Mateo show that I run, and then I have a Fremont one that I run, and then I'm starting like one in Los Gatos. Like I'm trying to branch out, but now I have the ability to be in like 5 places at once.
Nice.
So I'm literally gonna get to the point where we have like 3 Friday shows a month, and I'm not at all of them, or maybe I pop in at some of them. But I have the ability to put these things together, and because of sales, I'm able to show venues the value of working with me, and then we work it out from there. And it's really cool because you learn things that you didn't realize was going to help you in the things that you like. Because when you make money doing something you love, it could be $100, but the first $100 you got, whether you're like a painter or a comedian or whatever your thing is, when you first get that, you're like, oh, I got paid for something I actually enjoy. Especially when you used to sell cell phones in the middle of the mall. You're like, this money feels different to some degree. You got to keep going forward. The carrot's got to be in front of you.
It's true, yeah.
But there's points where you got to sit back and go, man, if I told myself I was doing what I'm doing now, back when I was just trying to get myself to do it, when you couldn't get yourself for whatever reason, I'd be if I could open a portal and show myself, hey, that's what we're gonna do. They'd be like, oh shit, like that's tight.
It's so funny that you say that because I'm gonna tell you a secret now.
Yeah.
I have never told anyone outside of my direct support network.
Yeah, what's that?
So a year ago, almost exactly a year ago.
What's up?
I did what's called a time machine manifestation, which is exactly that. Yeah, so you imagine this portal opening up in front of you, and your future self steps out. And you imagine okay, what does that person look like? How's that person dressed? What is that person's confidence level? What is that person? What does that person do?
Yeah.
What is the dream that you have for your future self?
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, and so she walked out, and I vividly had this imagination of her, and she had beautiful style, east and west. It was really powerful moment for me to see the glow. Awesome. And it was clear it came from doing what she was passionate about.
I like that.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Tell me that. That's great. Yeah, the world can be so difficult for people that it's nice when you're taking a moment to look at what you actually want. However you do it.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful thing to do. I guess very real with myself. And we do that. We're always like, I'm not happy with where I'm at, or I should be here, and it really weighs on you.
Yeah.
And sometimes I really want to be like, dude, chill. Like,
Yeah.
look at where you're at now. And that's the whole thing, the whole portal thing. That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so random.
I've gotten
Wow,
to
that's
this
cool.
place now, it's very recent,
Yeah.
where if I'm having the doubts and the imposter syndrome in that, I almost take it as a rite of passage.
Okay.
Because if I'm doing something that I'm super passionate about and there isn't a doubt that creeps up, I start to get scared, like, oh
Sure.
gosh, am I even on the right path?
Yeah, I mean, or it's the something always goes off. Like
Yeah.
something goes wrong when you're trying to like do your thing. You know what I mean? That's something I need to break out of myself that I'm doing better with now. But at the beginning, you get used to like, oh, something's gonna go wrong. You know, you
Yeah.
have that feeling. I feel like that's like
The other shoe's gonna drop.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, it doesn't have to be like that. Things will happen when they happen.
Yeah.
And just be a woman or be a man or whatever. Just deal with it.
Yeah.
But it's not you. It's not your character, and you have to start learning that's not your. I'm doing much better with it, trying to like make sure things are correct. And I mean, so like one of my biggest challenges, which has helped me a lot, I'm getting better at, is just getting more organized. If I could add an attribute to you right now and I could just input it, like what would it be? And I was like, dude, if I was more organized, that would help tremendously. And it's not even by like, not even for like, not like it's a bad thing, but to get where I want to go, I'm gonna have to be really organized. Like it's a challenge, but could you do it? Yeah.
So what are some of the things that you implemented to get more organized?
Bringing in people who can help me, like having like Rhoda and them to be able to help me do shows, and then having a schedule where because we also film sketches and stuff. I'm trying to like produce I'm hoping one day to produce movies and shows here in the Bay Area. So I'm like, well, I got to build toward that. So I'm getting organized with like a few people I film with. Like, okay, these are our days that we're going to film because when you're a parent, you got to really space those things out.
Right.
And then you got to make that happen. But just that has tremendously helped. Being able to look at a calendar. I mean, some people it may be a little easier, but especially I don't know if it's a guy thing, but guys kind of just go how it goes and then we work it out.
Yeah.
Where like I need to just sit there and be like, dude, what does my next month look like? And actually have it written down. I'm like, oh. This helps because it's like right there for me to look at.
Do you use like a writing planner?
Yeah, I have like a whiteboard in the room, and then I have like, I could do this better, and I will.
No,
but I literally have a my notepad and my calendar on my phone, just smattering whatever I can. But just having it somewhere is the developing process. But it's helped a lot because these shows I'm running, I have to be ahead of schedule with certain things and just figure it out. And you're never going to be perfect, but I've noticed that with the effort, it's become easier. And yeah, man, I'm excited for getting organized. I don't know if that sounds weird, but
I love that.
I really want to get things going. Like just getting the car clean with the kids, like it was great because normally because you have kids, it's very hard to have a clean car.
It is.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
But I have active kids. Like we have baseball stuff, golf. I'm always teaching them something. We're always doing something. So it's not only will it be the regular
baseball
messy.
Stuff in my car too. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You have all these things everywhere, and it's like it's good and bad because it's like you got to have all these things with you, but they could be more organized. Just the fact the car is spotless is like, and the kids helped and they know and they understand. And it was cool because the side effect of that was like they seen how much it takes to clean something. So then they were like,
now they're keeping it clean.
Yeah, now if something's messed up, they're like looking, hey, what happened here? Like laughing because that was like me.
Well, because they did the work, so they know the work that it takes behind it. Yeah, no, I had something similar actually. My youngest, we also had a deep clean of the car for the first time in I think like 2 years or something. I had to put my daughter in the booster from the car seat, and taking that car seat out is like, they found a way to like melt the candy into the crevices of the car seat corners. I mean, it's like really.
It's the worst thing
ever. It is
ever.
so bad. And so, anyways, we cleaned it up.
Don't ever lift the cloth to look what's in it.
I mean, so now we have the boosters. So now I can just take the boosters out and like wipe it down, or if I need to. But we don't need it in my car anymore. We're done. And my daughter, my youngest, goes like, Mama, don't you feel like happy that like the apartment's clean right now and like the car is clean right now? And I'm like, how do you feel? Because you were part of that. Like you helped me with that.
Cute.
Yeah. And so, the kids, when they're part of that process and they realize how much work it takes to get to that place, I do feel like they appreciate it a little bit more.
It's something that I just learned.
Yeah.
Like that was an accidental thing.
Yeah.
And I'm happy.
I think parents get to this point where it's like, I cannot live like, I'm like this. Like, I cannot live like this anymore. Like, it's just so messy and it's so dirty. And it's gotten to this place. And I get it. We live, we, play. But it's like, can we just put it away afterwards? Like, is that something we can, like, start to do?
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be perfect. I get it. We live here. It's the sign of a happy home. So talk about what you do with your boys during the summer?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So they're going to be doing, it's new, they're doing baseball. That's
Okay.
going to be a fun thing. They just started that. And then, yeah, we're pretty good about sleep. I've been doing the best I can with that because, I mean, as a parent, you always see information that makes you terrified.
I know. They must be between 9 and 12 hours of sleep a night.
Yeah.
Otherwise, their brains don't develop.
They wake up, I'm like, close your eyes. You still need to sleep. Like, or I'm not a good dad.
They, tell me that I'm a wonderful mom. And I've heard the term super mom more times than I feel like I deserve to. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, I because you don't feel that way because your head is in the dirt. You're trying to work it out. You're trying to make it. Yeah, you're like, am I? And your hair's all like, like you're not like feel like you're put together because you're just. It takes so much work. It is thankful in a different way over time. They'll understand, but in the moment. They don't know. They're just, you got to help them. You got to figure it out. So my youngest, he was super tiny. I remember we went to Fairyland in Oakland. And it was one of the first times that I was able to have them and just be me and them. And it was really awesome. But we went to Fairyland. He was like under 1. The other one was 3. And like the little one's running around all crazy. And I'm taking care of this one. And then you have to do everything. So you got to make sure, scheduling wise, feed him, make the formula, shake it up, feed him. Change his diaper, do the whole thing. Oh, you guys don't have a bathroom I can change him? Thanks. You got to go somewhere and do the whole thing.
Yeah.
But it was funny. I remember that there was these 2 ladies that kept staring at me every little while. And then it was like we were at the lunch area. I was making sure I was making their food and all whatever they had. One was eating like the little puff things and all the stuff, and then I had formula for him. But the ladies came up to me and they were just like, we just want to tell you you're doing a fantastic job.
Yeah, I love those ladies.
I always feel like being a parent is like you're trying to prepare a boat for a journey and it's like slowly drifting away and you're trying to put all the things and then eventually you're not going to be able to reach it anymore.
I hear what you're saying, like
and
the
hopefully,
kids are growing.
We're covering the thing. But like they're going like far away and you're going to be gone and you're trying to throw things in there from far, but you're like, well, I hope they have enough that they need and then I hope they come back. Literally, like, am I doing enough? Is this enough for them? Is it going to be okay?
Is this right? Am I giving them psychological problems right now?
That's the thing. You're like trying not to. And you're trying to adjust. That's one thing that I've needed to adjust. Not that I've been like crazy or anything like that, but I would have moments I'd be really stern and then I'm like.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
And I'm like, you're sensing where you're at. Like, you want to be stern, and I guess I should be lighter on myself because I give them plenty of like very nice opportunities, like a lot.
Yeah.
And then I have to be stern and be like, look, guys, I asked you like this many times, and I just want to be nice. I don't want to have to be stern with you to learn the lesson. I say that too.
I'm like, I don't want to be mean.
I don't. Like, please, earlier.
Listen the first time, maybe the second.
Third, I'll take the third. You know what I mean? All of those, right? And then by the fourth, you're like, dude, like we're just blatantly like.
There's this funny meme. Have you seen Moana?
Yes, I have.
So it's like the first time I asked them to put on my shoes, and it's like Tafiti, like with the flowers in her hair.
Oh yeah.
And then the 8th time, and it's Taka.
Yeah, no fire.
yeah. And that's how I feel. I'm like, do you want Taka to come out? Because I don't. Like, I really.
That's a funny way to put it too. You want Taka to come out?
Yeah. No, I mean.
That's good.
So anyways, and then I actually did have an incident recently where Taka came out, and later that day, my kids got some Dippin' Dots or something, and my daughter was just like, oh my God, you're the best mom ever. And like, I was just like, I did not feel good taking the compliment because I realized that I had a moment earlier.
You feel bad.
And she was like, Mama, just take the compliment. And that's what I'm always saying to them.
Really?
I'm like, take the compliment. She threw it back on me. She's like, Mama, just take the compliment.
Mom, just take it.
Like,
that's funny.
You're great, really. That doesn't matter. That was one moment you had. My 8-year-old daughter is telling me
that's great that she has the ability to look at
She is really smart.
That's awesome.
She speaks very clearly.
That must make you feel good, right?
Yeah. I'm like, okay, I must be doing something right because she's able to communicate so clearly and in such a lovely way. But yeah, so I think there are signs there. I think nobody's perfect. Everyone has their journey.
Yeah.
I think that if no one's told you today, you are a great father and you are doing a great job.
That means a lot.
Yeah, and a great producer and a great comedian.
You. Oh, that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
So many things we're trying to pull off here.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So thank you so much. Thanks for taking the time to do this. We will do this again, obviously.
Excited to do this, yeah,
and I really appreciate you. I think we got a lot of great stuff. Okay. And thank you guys. This is another episode of Modern Mom. We will see you next time.
Bye, everybody.